I have a secret habit, and I bet $100 that you have it too. Here's the scene. It's 11 p.m. I'm in my bedroom. The door is locked. I put on my noise-canceling headphones. I blast my main character energy playlist on Spotify. And then I start walking. Back and forth, pacing like a tiger in a cage. Sometimes I whisper to myself. Sometimes I make facial expressions. Sometimes I even do a little air guitar. To an outside observer, I look insane. I look like a glitching sim. But inside my head, oh my God, inside my head, I am a god. I'm not a lonely guy in a messy apartment. In my head, I am being interviewed by Jimmy Fallon.
Now,
the audience is laughing at my jokes. I am charming, successful, and famous. Or maybe I'm saving my crush from a burning building in slow motion. Or maybe I'm finally winning that argument I lost 3 years ago, delivering the perfect comeback that destroys my enemy. This isn't just daydreaming. Normal people daydream for 5 minutes when they're bored. This is maladaptive daydreaming. It is a compulsive addiction to fake scenarios. And just like alcohol or gambling, it is destroying your real life. But nobody talks about it because it's embarrassing. Why do we do this? Why do we spend hours pacing around a room hallucinating a life we don't have? Because reality is boring, and reality is hard. In reality, you are broke. Your boss is annoying. You are awkward on dates. Progress takes years of grinding. But in the paracosm, that's the scientific term for your imaginary world, the reward is instant. You get the girl instantly. You get the $1 billion instantly. You win the Nobel Prize instantly. Your brain releases dopamine when you imagine these things. Your brain actually cannot tell the difference between a vivid visualization and reality. So when you imagine winning a Grammy, your brain gives you the chemical reward as if you actually won it. This is dangerous, because if you get the reward without doing the work, why would you ever do the work? Why would you go to the gym and sweat for 6 months, real life, when you can just listen to the Rocky soundtrack and imagine you were ripped? Fantasy. You are overdosing on potential. You are addicted to the idea of yourself rather than the reality of yourself. I did this for 10 years. From age 15 to 25, I estimate I spent 2 hours a day pacing and dreaming. That is 7,300 hours. Do you know what I could have mastered in 7,300 hours? I could have learned 3 languages. I could have built a business. I could have become a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Instead, I built nothing. I built castles in the sky, and castles in the sky have 0 resale value. The tragedy of the maladaptive daydreamer is the gap between who you are in your head, the hero, and who you are in your room, the pacer. The more you daydream, the wider the gap gets, and the wider the gap gets, the more depressed you feel. And the more depressed you feel, the more you want to retreat back into the daydream to escape the pain. It is a doom loop. You are eating your own tail. This behavior is exploding right now in Gen Z and millennials. Why? Because we are the loneliest generation. Maladaptive daydreaming is a coping mechanism for loneliness and trauma. If you were bullied as a kid, you retreated into your head, where you were strong. If you are lonely as an adult, you create imaginary friends or imaginary romantic partners who understand you perfectly. In the US, we don't have third places anymore. We don't have community, so we build communities in our skulls. It's not that you are crazy, it's that your brain is starving for connection or adventure, and it is feeding itself digital junk food to survive. So how do we stop? I tried to just stop. It didn't work. The music was too tempting. I had to make reality habitable again. Step 1. The no music walk. I realized music was my trigger. Music is the soundtrack to the movie in my head. So I forced myself to go for walks without headphones, just raw dogging reality. It was painful. It was boring. My brain screamed for stimulation. But slowly, I started to notice the trees, the wind, the cars. I reconnected with the physical world. Step 2. Gamify reality. The reason fantasy is fun is because there's a narrative, a story. So I started narrating my real life. When I washed the dishes, I pretended I was a monk practicing mindfulness. When I went to the gym, I pretended I was training for a montage. I tried to bring the main character energy out of my head and into my hands. If I want to be cool in my head, I have to do one cool thing in real life today. Just one. Step 3. Write it down. If you have a brilliant scenario in your head, write it down. Turn it into a script, a story, a video idea. When you write it down, you turn delusion into creation. Don't let the energy rot in your brain. Exercise it onto paper. Listen to me. The version of you in your head, the one who is confident, fit, rich, and loved, that person is waiting for you. But they don't live in your bedroom. They don't live in your Spotify playlist. They live out there, in the uncomfortable, boring, scary real world. You have to stop watching the movie of your life and start directing it. Put down the headphones, unlock the door, step outside. The graphics out here are terrible, but at least the gameplay is real. Thanks for watching. Now turn off the video. Don't click the next one. Go do something real.